Welcome to this overview of your Flexible Spending Account, or FSA. This presentation will walk you through how your FSA works, what expenses are eligible, what documentation you need to keep, and, most importantly, what to do if your debit card gets suspended or a claim requires additional information. Let's get started. Here's what we'll cover in this presentation. We'll start with how the FSA claim process works and why most claims go through automatically. Then we'll look at what expenses qualify, what documentation is required, and exactly what happens when a claim needs your attention. We'll also cover a critical rule about the FSA debit card and the calendar year. This one catches a lot of people off guard. And wrap up with how to submit claims and where to find help. Good news first, the vast majority of FSA debit card transactions, somewhere between 75 and 80%, are automatically approved through a process called IRS auto-substantiation. When you swipe your card at a pharmacy, a doctor's office, or a hospital, the system recognizes the merchant category and confirms the transaction meets IRS guidelines. You don't have to do anything. But for the remaining transactions, where the system can't automatically confirm eligibility, BusinessSolver will send you a notification asking for documentation. This is important. If you receive one of those notices, you have 30 days to respond. If you don't, the IRS requires that your debit card be suspended for up to 90 days. We'll walk through exactly what to do when that happens. Your FSA covers a broad range of health-related expenses. Let's go through the main categories. Medical expenses include doctor visits, urgent care, co-pays, lab work, and physical therapy. Dental covers cleanings, fillings, orthodontia, and oral surgery. Vision includes eye exams, glasses, contacts, and even LASIK. Prescriptions are covered, including insulin and certain over-the-counter medications when prescribed by a doctor. If you have a dependent care FSA, you can use those funds for daycare, after-school programs, and summer day camp for children under 13. If you're ever unsure whether something qualifies, the BusinessSolver eligible expense tool on the portal is the fastest way to check. Just search for the item or service and it will tell you immediately. Every FSA claim, whether submitted manually or flagged for documentation, must include 5 pieces of information: the date of service, the provider's name, the patient's name, a description of the service or product, and the exact amount charged. On the right side of this slide, you can see what will not be accepted. Credit card statements, bank records, and canceled checks don't count on their own. An explanation of benefits from your insurance company isn't sufficient by itself either. You need an itemized receipt or statement from the provider that includes all 5 elements. The most common rejection reason is a receipt that's missing one of these details, usually the date of service or the description. So before you upload documentation, take a moment to verify all 5 fields are present. When a claim needs your attention, BusinessSolver sends you an email notification right away. On this slide, you can see the 2 types of notices. The one on the left is for a debit card transaction. Your card was used, but the transaction couldn't be automatically confirmed. The one on the right is for a manual claim you submitted that needs additional documentation. In both cases, the email will tell you which transaction or claim is involved and what's needed. The key thing to know is that the clock starts when this email is sent. You have 30 days to respond before your debit card may be suspended. In the next few slides, we'll walk through exactly where to go in the portal to upload your documentation. Once you've received the email notification, your next step is to log into the BusinessSolver portal or open the My Choice mobile app. On the home page, you'll see a section called My Tasks. If you have a claim that needs attention, you'll see a red alert that says, Claims need attention. Action required. This is shown on both the desktop portal on the right side of your screen and on the mobile app. Tap or click that alert to go directly to the claims section, where you can see exactly which claim needs documentation and what's being requested. Once you're in the portal, navigate to Claims in the top menu, then select Claim Summary. You'll see all your recent claims listed here. Click on the Action Required tab. This filters the list to show only the claims that need your attention. For each claim, you'll see an Upload Documentation button. Click that to attach your receipt or supporting document directly to the claim. You can also use the three-dot menu on the right side of any claim row to access claim details or the How to Resolve screen, which walks you through your options step by step. The screenshot on this slide shows exactly what this looks like in the portal. Within the Action Required tab, each claim includes a Notices section that tells you exactly what the problem is and what you need to do. There are 5 common notice codes. The most frequent is simply Documents Requested. Business Solver just needs you to upload a receipt. Easy fix. Credit card receipt means you submitted a credit card slip, which doesn't show what was purchased. You'll need to get an itemized receipt from the provider instead. Service description missing means your documentation doesn't include what the service was. A quick call to your provider's billing department usually resolves this. Services ineligible means the expense doesn't qualify under IRS rules. If you believe it should, you can contact Business Solver with additional supporting documentation. And prior year dates means the service date falls in a plan year that has already closed. Unfortunately, these can't be reprocessed. Once you know which claim needs attention, you have 2 options to resolve it. Option 1, and the most common path, is to simply upload documentation. If you have a receipt or an explanation of benefits that meets all 5 requirements we covered earlier, upload it directly through the portal. You can also resolve the claim by offsetting it with a different eligible expense from the same period. Option 2 applies when you genuinely can't provide documentation. In that case, you need to repay the amount to Business Solver by mailing a check made out to Business Solver Inc. to the P.O. Box in Kansas City, shown on the screen. It's important to resolve these promptly. Failure to respond can result in your debit card being suspended and, in some cases, the unsubstantiated amount being treated as taxable income. Here's a rule that surprises a lot of people, so pay close attention. Your FSA debit card only works for expenses incurred in the current calendar year. If you had an eligible expense in 2025, even in December, and you try to use your FSA debit card to pay for it in January 2026, the card will not work. This isn't a system glitch, it's an IRS requirement. If this happens to you, the solution is straightforward. Pay for the expense out of pocket, then submit a manual reimbursement claim. Just make sure you do it before your plan's run-out deadline, which is typically 90 days after the plan year ends. Keep this in mind, especially for December medical expenses. Those are the most common situation where people run into this. When you need to submit a manual reimbursement claim, whether because you paid out of pocket or because your debit card couldn't be used, you have 3 options. The fastest is the Benefit Solver portal at mybenefits.businesssolver.com. Log in, go to Claims, select Submit a Claim, fill in the service details, upload your receipt, and submit. Most reimbursements process within 3 to 5 business days. The MyChoice mobile app works the same way. Tap Accounts, select your FSA, tap Submit Claim, attach a photo of your receipt, and you're done. If you don't have portal access, you can also use a paper claim form. Download it from the portal, complete all the fields, attach your receipts, and fax or mail it to Business Solver at the address on the form. Here's a quick reference to the resources available to you. The Business Solver portal at mybenefits.businesssolver.com is your primary hub. It's where you submit claims, upload documentation, and check your account balance. The MyChoice mobile app gives you the same functionality on your phone. The eligible expense search tool inside the portal is the fastest way to confirm whether something qualifies before you spend. If you have questions about the claims process itself, Sophia, Business Solver's virtual assistant, is available around the clock on both the portal and the app. For questions about your specific plan, run-out deadlines, or anything administrative, reach out to Benefits Administration directly, and if you ever need the official IRS list of eligible expenses, that's Publication 502, available at irs.gov. Let's close with the 5 things we want you to remember. 1. Most of your FSA transactions are automatically approved. You don't have to do anything. 2. If you get a notification that a claim needs documentation, act within 30 days. Waiting too long risks having your debit card suspended. 3. Documentation requirements are strict. You need all 5 elements: date of service, provider, patient name, description, and amount. Credit card receipts alone aren't enough. 4. Your FSA debit card only works for expenses in the current calendar year. Pay out of pocket for prior year expenses and submit a manual claim. 5. Submitting a manual claim is easy. Use the portal, the app, or a paper form. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please reach out to Benefits Administration or log in to the Business Solver portal.